What's up? Welcome back to the show. It is the Gangsta Rap Odyssey. We got a new record from Bizzy Bone out. That is the news of the day. Well, actually, it's not really the news of the day. There's Nas Magic 3 just came out. Ugh, damn. That's crazy. But we're here to talk about Bizzy Bone today. The Wastelands. Have you heard this record? What do you think about this record? Let me know what you think in the comments if you've had a chance to check this out. I've been a Bizzy Bone fan for, I don't know, man, since I first heard Bone Thugs-n-Harmony. That's for sure, man. I think that his first record is still probably his best record. He's got that curse where the first is not the worst, it is the opposite. But throughout the history of Bizzy Bone, he's got some dope records here and there, The Gift. What else? Alpha Omega was pretty good. Crossroads wasn't too bad. And some of the later records like The Mantra were decent. One thing's for sure, he's got good songs scattered throughout the last 20-some years. So there's always a big Bizzy Bone playlist on my phone. This one hit me out of nowhere, though. I didn't realize that Bizzy was coming out with another record already. I guess he comes out with one like every year, really. And the last one he made, I'm Busy. I haven't checked it out. I think that's a collaboration album with his kids or his kid. I don't know. You'll let me know if you heard it. Let me know what I should know. Whatever, man. But let's talk about the Wastelands here. The Wastelands, first of all, the cover, it's all right. It's got Bizzy Bone on the front. Looks like, he's wearing his tux. Kind of reminds me of his own YouTube channel where he just, I think he's got the same graphic artist doing that. Who knows? I didn't ask, but that's what I thought. I listened to the record, and if you're a Bizzy fan, specifically from like the last 5 years, you're going to like this record. I think that Bizzy Bone for sure still hasn't lost his step. He can still rap. The guy doesn't sound like he's aged at all. Some rappers, they rap for like 20 years, and by the end of their career, they just sound different than they did like even 10 years before, whatever. Bizzy Bone doesn't have that going for him. Like, he doesn't have that, he just sounds the same. He raps fast, and his singing is still phenomenal. He's still like my favorite Bone member. But this record right here is definitely a solo joint, meaning that there's no features, no Bizzy or no Bone members. The producer, I don't know who the producer is. I looked everywhere on the web. I don't see any credits. So it probably just means that it's an up and coming producer, and Bizzy seems to do that a lot throughout his career. We should have known from Heaven's Movie when Majesty produced the majority of those tracks that Bizzy was going to be walking to a beat of his own drum for the rest of his life. A lot of his records just were like that, He just does his own thing, doesn't really count on like a lot of producers, famous or expensive. And even the featured rappers, he rarely has a feature on his record. I think the most notable ones I remember, besides some Bone members, is like Pitbull. Anybody else? Maybe Bun B? I can't really remember, man. They're, for somebody like Bizzy Bone who has these legendary tracks with other people like Biggie, Pac, and Easy, his own records don't try to bring in that same energy, I guess. Like, there's no big names on his records ever. It leaves it for a hit or miss, There's a lot of miss in his career, but there's a few hits here and there. And like I said, man, he's got enough stuff to make a big old Bizzy Bone playlist that you'll find more than enough to last throughout the day. But on this one, like I said, man, it's I don't know who produced it or who produced the record, but it sounds like it's an upcoming producer. None of the beats on here are like too offensive. Like, I listened to it all a couple times through its entirety, and nothing like, it's like when I said about Trey D's album that there's some dope tracks and nothing is skippable. But is it a classic? I don't think so. This one right here, I know I like it less than Trey D's record. But what's weird is that None of the tracks seem like skippable, but do you want to listen to it in the first place? I don't know, man. Maybe Busy Bone's an acquired taste. Let me know what you think. I think that the tracks that are dope on here, it shows that Busy has that flow still that made him famous, and he's got that passion. One thing about Busy is he's always wearing his emotions on his sleeves, and he writes about it. So often he's pissed off, or something is just, not going his way, and he's going to let you know what it is. So you got to give him props for that. He's not like this industry robot. He just writes and raps about what he feels like. And I guess that's the benefit about being independent off of a big record label and whatnot. He can just do whatever he wants. And I guess it's working for him because he's still dropping records like this. I think the record sounds a lot like some of the same music that he's been making for like the last 10 years or so. It's just Busy on a solo tip, doing his thing, expressing the point in his life, whatever that is right now. And, that's the good news. If you're a Busy fan, you're going to love this record. If you're not a Busy fan, or you've been like Busy just hasn't been good since like Heaven's Movie, this isn't going to change your mind. That's what it did for me anyways. I was kind of on the fence about it. Do you ever have like a record that's just kind of lukewarm? Like it's not like whack, but it's not like great either. I think this one rides that vibe for sure. I think that, and this, you hear me saying I think a lot. I have these opinions, and that's all it really comes down to in my head is just how I'm feeling about it. And it's hard for me to really put into words what this record, how good this record really is, or how bad it is. Because to me, it just seems like it's just like in the middle of bad and good. It's just like, there it is. It just is more of Busy Bone, more of what we've been getting for the last several years. Obviously, he does have hits here and there or dope tracks, and there's no way to really quantify that by numbers because I don't think he's going platinum anymore or anybody's really counting. But just in my own head, from the tracks that I like off his albums, seem to be like a handful. And this is more of that. For me, it's just like another handful of tracks that I like on here. It's enough to keep me checking Busy out every time he drops something, but I'm still like unimpressed as somebody who should be legendary at this point, and he is legendary. And what I want is like legendary production and some legendary features. But that's all if I was king for a day, King for a day, I would probably call like, I don't know, hey, Chill or Daz, like, come make some beats for me, whatever. Toe Capone, these legendary producers. I would love to see them collaborate with Busy Bone and just make something that's almost like West Coast inspired. Give me some of that gangsta shit that I know Busy can do because he's done it before for sure. And then call up the Bone fam, I don't know, make amends, whatever you have to do. I don't know what Busy Bone is with his Bone Thugs fam right now, if he's on good terms or not. But I would love for them to, reunite, man. Fucking Voltron again. Busy Bone is the unstable Bone member for sure, Unstable. We don't know if he's pissed off or if he's back in the group. I feel like there's a different headline every year, So is Busy Bone back in Bone Thugs? You let me know. I don't know. I think they tour every now and then. Does it matter anymore? I'm not sure, man. I know that the other Bone guys are doing their own thing, and that's always cool. Would love to hear Wish again. But, I'm already talking like I'm king for a day. On this record, though, in reality, we have a very solo Busy project, and that's how Busy likes it. He gets very solo. He puts the spotlight on himself. And when you do that, you also put a magnifying glass on your ass, And so any crack that is in your record looks bigger than it actually is. And, that's just the nature of it. I think that this record, for as dope as it is, it's also what you don't like just seems to almost outweigh that. It's probably because we have like these expectations of these legends. Like, come on, man. And I've heard people like argue online, like you can't expect these rappers who've been in it over, 20 years or almost 50 to be putting out hits like they used to. I guess, but we see that they still do it. And it's not like it's the NFL or anything. It's just, how much heart you got. And you know what really makes this weird or frustrating is that you listen to Bizzy Bone and the guy still has the magic. Like, fucking A. He can flow like he was in his 20s still and sing like it too. Like, he still got it. Like, there's nothing here that tells you that Bizzy's lost a step. We just want the music to catch up or to keep up with Bizzy. And I think that's really the bottom line here. The music doesn't seem to keep up with Bizzy's quality or legendary status because it's still fucking dope, man. His writing, his flow, he wears his emotion on his sleeve and then he puts it on paper and he lets us know. And I love it. Anytime you want to know what's going on in Bizzy's life, check out his latest record and that'll give you an idea, man. You got to love that about Bizzy. He's got a lot of freedom. He's real independent and he's not this industry robot. So one other thing about Bizzy is he's always like, I don't know if you want to call it political or whatever, but he gets into like present, like beefs in the world or just shit that rubs us the wrong way. He raps about it. He doesn't stay away from like being PC or not. He goes over on this record a few times about non-binary, gender shit, shit like that. These weird things that drive you mad on TV that people talk about in politics or whatever. Bizzy isn't afraid to tackle those topics, and you gotta love it. He's brave in that aspect. This record, if I had to grade it, I would probably give it a C. Like I said, it rides that line, that fence, like, and it's almost like C is a cop out, like it's an undecisive conclusion. And I think that I fucking want to love it, but I really don't. But none of the tracks are like stupid, like it's not like whack. So I got to give it a C. What do you think about it, man? You let me know what you think in the comments here. I'm not really sure. If you had to give somebody a Bizzy Bone record and tell them this is my favorite rapper, what record would that be? I would probably give them Heaven's Movie, maybe The Gift. Alpha Omega wasn't too bad either. What would you do, man? What would you give? Do you have a playlist out there, for people to check out? The ultimate Bizzy playlist? Let me know. I'd love to hear about it in the comments. I think that's going to be a wrap, man. What more can we say about Bizzy Bone? But let's hope that the next one is a home run and not a base hit. I think that Bizzy deserves it. I want to see him go out. If he's on his final lap, like the 50 Cent tour, I want to see him get some heavy hitters in here and just go out like a king. Imagine Bizzy and Hit Boy together or some shit like that, man. Come on, bring it, man. What is stopping these guys? Bring it. So let me know what you think in the comments. Check out the archives of shows on throwback88.com. Subscribe to the show if you haven't, man. If you're checking us out on the podcasts, we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever. Share us with a friend or whatever. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe. I appreciate it, man. And we'll be back with our next shit soon. Peace.